Hi, this is Yaya with Yapping with Yaya, and I'm so excited about today's show. Some of you have seen my first show, which I am so glad all of my Yapanians supported that show. Today I have a real treat for you. I have author Tamia Gore-Felton. She is the author of the book Bangles and Broken Hearts, and I will tell you right now that it is a must read. When I read the book, I could not put it down, and I'm so excited that part 2 is finished and will be available soon. So we're gonna start talking to Tamia about the book and get into the book, not telling too much because we want you to go out and get the book and support author Tamia Gore-Felton. And so Tamia, first can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, my name is Tamia Gore-Felton. I am originally from South Carolina. I attended school in Scotland County. I was a Fighting Scots. Go Scots! Yes. I'm a writer.
So when did you realize that you wanted to be a writer, or that you knew, this is what you wanted to do?
Like in the early 2000s.
Okay, so were you writing different things, or had you start writing on different projects? Was that the time you started on the book?
I actually wrote poems like in middle school, but I didn't really think about writing a book until after I graduated from high school. And I started then, like about 2002, I started with Bangles and Broken Hearts, and I finished in about 2013, I finished with it. Because I wasn't really serious with it, but I buckled down and I got it done.
Well, I am so glad you got serious with this book, because this book is serious. Oh my goodness, I cannot stress enough how good this book is. I guess this may not sound, too good. I'm not really a reader. Like, I read when things interest me. And so when I picked this book up and I realized that I had finished the book the same day that I picked it up, I was like, yes, this is a good book. And I had to have her on the show because I really think this book is going to be a bestseller. And, now that we're talking about that, when you started to write your book and you got it together and you got it published, like, what were you thinking when you were finally putting it out there and selling it and things like that? Did you think it would be, everything that happened?
It all happened so fast. It was like it was released in July of 2015, July 16th actually. And like my first shipment, I got it sold out so fast, and I had to get another shipment and another shipment. And like the town that I live in, Conway, South Carolina, the people have been so supportive towards me. Like, if I go to McDonald's, somebody will, hey, didn't you write that book, Bangles and Broken Hearts? I'm like, yeah, that's it. So it's just been really crazy. It's been a good crazy, though.
Mm-hmm. Well, that is really good. I hear you have a billboard.
I do have a billboard on 501 heading towards Myrtle Beach. I don't know if you all know where the Tanger outlets are, but it's on the right side of the highway, right by the Olive Garden.
Okay, so let's get into the book.
Okay.
So Lyric, who is the main character, and I'm gonna try not to, tell too much about the book because, like I said, we want you to read the book. Tell us a little bit about how you developed her character.
I definitely wanted to create somebody that would be unforgettable with Lyric. She has so many things going on. She's truly a busybody. She is all over the place doing all kind of things with all kinds of people, young and old, so she does not discriminate. She is definitely, I'm not gonna say one of a kind, because there's people out there that do things that she does, but but she's definitely gonna be one of my most memorable characters.
Okay. And speaking of being memorable, I like the idea how you made her, or that she is a twin.
Yes, 2 of her.
Which really put a lot of twists and turns in this book. Without saying too much, again, tell us a little bit about that connection with her twin, Melody, right?
Yes, Lyric and Melody never had that, sister bond. Melody is pretty much a goody two-shoes, and she outshines Lyric, and Lyric is just in the background, So while her family is praising Melody for all her good deeds, Lyric is just being left out, and she's sick and tired of it.
Mm-hmm. So do you think Like when you were writing the book, is that why you took the direction in terms of lyric, like owning herself and I guess taking the direction like, you know what, I'm going to do something that's, I guess, totally opposite of my twin, you know, because we are two different people. And so when you did that, what were your thoughts when you kind of were writing about lyric and developing her character as far as, you know, her not being exactly like her sister?
I wanted to make them like day and night, you know, total opposites. I didn't want them to be alike in any way.
Well, that certainly does come through in the book. So let's go back earlier. You mentioned that Lyric gets herself in all types of situations with different types of people. There were a few times in there where we talked about her different types of people. But there was one part that stood out for me.
Okay.
And it's the part where I guess she was at some point trying to figure out if she found love or whatever. After I read that, I had to ask myself if I was all right. And so as I was reading this, I was thinking, oh my goodness, did your mama read this book?
She did. I was the only person in this whole entire universe that I was worried about saying something bad about my book was my mom. Like, that's it. But since she approved it, you know, my mom approves it, so.
And the other good thing or point of me, you know, bringing out that point, not just because of the imagery, also you kind of like took a chance. Like some authors, they, in my experience, they may not want to, you know, really push the envelope the way that you did and really talk about relationships and what people do in relationships. Obviously, sex is part of, you know, relationships. Right. So I thought that was very bold of you, and I commend you. Thank you. I really am looking forward to the next book. And speaking of the next book, do you have any other than Bangles and Broken Hearts, do you have any other projects that you're working on?
I do. I am more than halfway through with my third novel. I'm not going to say the name of it yet, but I'm more than halfway done with that one, and hopefully that one will be released by Valentine's Day 2016.
So the first show that we did, the theme was talking about, you know, overcoming your fears in terms of pursuing whatever your dream is, and sometimes there may be challenges and things like that. Can you talk a little bit about whether or not, if that held true for you? Like, were you fearful, like, oh my gosh, I'm putting this book out, are people gonna buy it, are they gonna like it? Or was it a situation where you were just like, you know what, I don't care, this is what I want to do, whatever happens, happens, you know, things of that nature?
I would have to say it was a little bit of both, because like I do care what people think about my books, but on the other hand, I'm like, I got to get this out because, you know, it's a story that was inside of me and I had to get it out. So it was just a little bit of both.
And speaking of the story inside of you, you know, when someone reads a book, especially a book like this, they're thinking, was any of this book true?
This book is fiction. I don't know if you people think this book is about me. It's not, because I don't have a twin and my name isn't Lyric, but it's not about me. It's not about anybody. It's just about like girls in general. Like, girls go through things, like people go through things, and this book is about life situations. They happen, like stuff that's in this book, it happens every day. It does.
And that is true. And like what I mentioned earlier about your writing is that you really, you know, push the envelope. You go above and beyond, as far as like the actual words that you use and everything. And so when I was thinking about doing an interview with you, I was like, oh my gosh, this book has so many parts to it. And I mean, really, if you think about it, it's a book that's for a teenager who's trying to, you know, find out a female who's trying to find out who they are as a growing woman. If you're, you know, in your 20s or something like that, it talks about things like that. I mean, it's a book right now, I think, for you know, that really speaks to situations or issues that young women go through who are not necessarily, you know, married, or who are not necessarily on that road of, you know, the American dream,
Right.
the big house, white picket fence, and things like that. Sometimes people have to go through different avenues to actually get to that
Dirt
dream.
roads and back roads and bumpy roads with potholes and stuff.
Let me tell you, this was the country road. I said, "Oh my goodness!" So I can't say enough about the book. You know, so how do you think this book? You mentioned earlier how the situations in the book are, you know, actually real situations for other people. As far as like an author, what do you think is your expert opinion about, you know, what girls should really do if they ever find themselves in sticky situations of lust and heartbreak?
That's good. Let's see. I think they should. I think they should just pray about it. If they have an older sister, they can ask their sister. If they have a relationship with their mother or a godmother or somebody, like, you know, that they trust, that they can talk to, they won't tell their secrets and put them on Facebook or Instagram or wherever. Um, you know, just talk to somebody about it. Somebody you can trust about things.
And I also think that this book is really, if they are going through that, this book is like, yes, it's like, oh my gosh, I can free myself. Like, there's somebody out there, although you said it's not true.
It's
You believe,
not
I
true.
believe. It's somebody out there that actually really knows what's going on, and they don't have to feel like they are, you know, this bad person, or they have to live this life in secret, like everybody. And really, Lyric is not a bad person. She just goes through these things, and it just gives such revelation about, you know, what women go through, along with all the twists and turns and dark areas, and whoo, yes. Yes. So tell us, you know, how we can find out about you, where we can follow you, and, you know, things like that, so we can stay in touch with the author, best-selling author, might I add.
That's right. That's right. You can find the book on lulu.com. That's lulu.com. Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, iTunes. It's on Kindle, ebook. It's on pretty much just about anywhere on the internet you can get it. And you can follow me on Facebook at Author Tamia Gore-Felton, and I'm on Instagram at Simply Mimi 820. I forgot. And I'm on Twitter at Mia Devon. So if you want to follow me to find out things about, you know, my upcoming books, you can follow me there.
All right, well, folks, you heard it here first, or second. First. And so go out and support Tamia. I promise you, you will not regret getting this book. I promise you that you will want to continue to read part 2, as well as read her other projects. I'm sure they're going to be a blast. And we just look forward to hearing more from you, Tamia. And I thank you for this opportunity to allow me to interview you.
Thank you for having me.
I just pray that you will, you know, have much success, which I know you will, and that you will just keep in touch with us. And let us know
Thank you. I sure will. I will.
all right. Thank you for joining us for this segment with Yapping with Yaya, as we sat and talked with author Tamia Gore-Felton. I encourage you to go out and get this book, Bangles and Broken Hearts. I guarantee you, you won't regret it. You will not be able to put it down. We talked with Tamia about how she got started as an author, and I just really want to encourage you, especially to go with the theme that I have for my first show, is really stepping out on faith and really pursuing your dreams. Because if Tamia had not pursued her dreams, as we heard, she, I think, started her book like in 2000 and just recently finished it. If she had not followed that dream and really pushed, we wouldn't have this great book out today. So tune into the next show, where I will be bringing you more amazing topics, and you can follow me at Twitter, Instagram, Facebook at #yappingwithyaya. So I guess I'll speak with you guys later. go out and get the book. I just thank you again for supporting the show, and I just cannot get what I'm trying to say out. It's a must read. If she had not, you know, I got a headache. Hey, clap again. Show, we talked to Tamia about how she got started as an author, and really talked about